So I wanted to talk about The Boys season 5 and more so the finale. I've just come off watching the finale, so pretty much most of it is fresh in my mind, and I just want to talk about some things. The first thing I want to address with this is more something to do with the whole season, which is just the virus in V1. What did these two plot threads even really achieve in the end? Like, it feels like these two things only exist to pad the length of the season. They spent more time on these two irrelevant plot threads, which achieved nothing in the end. Homelander gets depowered all the same, than they did wrapping the plot threads of all the characters up. Like, the stuff that happened in this finale should have taken place over the course of several episodes. We spent more time in this season on the fucking pointless V1 and virus plot threads than on wrapping the characters up and making the ending satisfying. The chess beam power from Kimiko should have just been brought in earlier in the season, and that's what they should have gone with, instead of this whole V1 virus shit that they did again. Complete waste of fucking time. The next thing I'm going to talk about is just some of the characters that I feel were just wasted. The first one is a negligible character. Our father just gets a stupid death. He just dies out of nowhere. They introduced this possibility of him maybe kind of revolting against Homelander and turning good, but no, he just dies in a really stupid way. Complete waste. The second is Ryan. Ryan shows up in a very early scene, talks with Homelander. Nothing really achieved in that scene. He just kind of the same type of deal, insulting Homelander, saying, oh, everyone only fears you, no one respects you, blah, blah, blah. And then he shows up in the fight with Homelander, and then his plot thread doesn't even feel like it's been wrapped up completely. He's not even in like the final like montage at the end. He's just absent. What like they just didn't know what the fuck to do with that character. The only conclusion I can come to is he's gonna be in Vought Rising. Because what else could it fucking be? They just didn't wrap Ryan up at all. There's some smaller character issues like Stan Edgar shows up on a TV, basically says he's leading Vought again now. We don't see any more of him in the episode. When Butcher and Huey go into Vought Tower towards the end, we don't even see um, Stan Edgar in the building. He's not like killed Stan Edgar, which is what he should have done. Stan Edgar should have been dead in that scene. Don't even see him. I imagine they just couldn't afford to pay for him anymore, the actor. Um, but the biggest and stupidest aspect of this finale, which does not make any fucking sense whatsoever, is Soldier Boy isn't in the finale. We don't even see a fucking frame of Soldier Boy. He's not in the post credits. He's not even mentioned. He's not his name does not leave anyone's mouth in this finale. Not even MM's mouth. Where's Soldier Boy after Homelander gets depowered? Not even fucking questioned. He's completely forgotten. Like, and I mean completely. No fucking character even mentions him. Even though he's like the next threat after Homelander. Like, he's just as powerful as Homelander, essentially. And just as destructive. Doesn't even get mentioned. What the fuck? What sense does that make? Like, the only thing that makes any fucking sense is that Vought Rising is going to be in the present day. Soldier Boy's going to wake up, and the past scenes are going to be a recollection of his memories. Like, he's going to be recalling things. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because what purpose do you have to keep this character alive, other than if that's going to be part of the spin-off, the present day? MM's plot thread just doesn't even get resolved. But the most absurd thing is just that none of the characters even mention him. Like, he's as big a threat as this guy they're trying to kill. Why is he not mentioned? The fight scene was just... What can you really say about the fight scene? The choreography in The Boys for fight scenes has never really been good. I think the best fight scene in the entire series is in literally the first episode, between Butcher and Translucent, because it's the only one that's small scale without really any powers. And it's kind of a short fight. This fight is just basically two guys flailing each other. Homelander is flying at Butcher, and miraculously now he's not moving like A-Train speed. He's just like moving normal speed, like a fucking like a bird or something. It's like, what happened to his super speed that we see in the first episode? The thing that allows him to kill A-Train conveniently is just completely not even fucking acknowledged in this episode at all. It's just a bunch of people throwing each other around, punches being thrown, people being grabbed by tentacles and just tossed around. Like, that's all it fucking is. And then he gets depowered and then Butcher kills him, which is the only good thing about this episode, is that Butcher is actually the one to deal the final blow to Homelander, which is what people were worried about, that it was going to be some other character like Kimiko or something that's going to kill him. It was actually Butcher. They actually pulled through with that one thing in this episode. But just But even Butcher's character is just silly in this episode. Like, Homelander dies at minute 40, and then at minute 45, good Butcher is talking to Ryan. And then between the minute 45 to 52, Butcher goes from good Butcher talking to Ryan to evil Butcher to being dead at minute 52. So in the space of about 6 to 7 minutes, they turn this guy from good guy to bad guy to dead. That's how fucking rushed this finale is, in a nutshell. But just, the Deep's character, his death was fucking stupid as well. Again, similar to the Black Noir thing, he's killed by an octopus. Not killed by Starlight, not killed by Homelander, killed by a fucking regular ass, unpowered octopus with no V in its system. He just gets penetrated, his skin gets penetrated by a fucking octopus. When Annie cannot penetrate him with her fingers or her fists. Make that make sense. Like, I understand. I'm not going to sit here and fucking argue the fucking logic of like an octopus penetrating his skin when he can take this, etc. But just, you remember when The Boys had some level of respect for its like rules that it's set in its universe, and then like after season 1, or maybe after season 2, they just completely forgot like to adhere to those rules anymore. They just make up shit whenever they want. Or a knife can penetrate Black Noir, or a fucking octopus can penetrate Deep. Like, just so fucking silly. Really fucking silly. I also just feel like Homelander's moment where he's human just felt really underwhelming. Like, I feel like they should have dragged that out a bit more and had like some more dialogue rather than it just be him groveling and then Butcher just fucking kills him. Like, I don't know. I feel like that was a wasted opportunity. Like, again, it very much feels like the Vecna thing where they just kill him too quickly. Like, they shouldn't have killed him that quick. The whole point is this is the payoff that everyone has been waiting for the whole fucking show. This is the payoff. Not fucking finding out that fucking Starlight's pregnant. No one gives a fuck about that. No one cares about fucking, any of the other shit that really happens here. And that fucking dickhead ringing up Huey and trying to get him to join the FBI again or something. No one cares about this. The biggest payoff in the show is Homelander's fucking death. And you should have spent more time on his fucking death. I get that there's a badly choreographed fight scene before he dies, but the fight scene was fucking bad. Just, I can't comprehend Sage's character. I'm just remembering that now. Sage's character, what a fucking waste of time that character was. The smartest character doesn't really provide anything of fucking interest. She gets beamed in this episode by Kimiko, gets depowered, turns fucking stupid, and then she has no other purpose beyond that. So no, her whole plans were a complete fucking waste. Just, what the fuck were some things? Ashley's whole plot line, not even really wrapped up completely, to be honest. Wow, she helped the boys for once. Wow. It took you 5 seasons to have that fucking scene from her? Like, really? Just, not A-Train's family, not even shown. No conclusion for his family. Episode 1, Adrian's dead, so now none of the characters that were affiliated with him matter anymore. Like, this is like a show that just had a fucking final season that had so much runtime and so much potential for like stuff to happen in it, and they just squandered so much of that runtime on just stupid plot threads and just setting up Vought Rising. Like, when you think about this ending and you think like Soldier Boy was not even in the final episode, so much of this fucking season was about Soldier Boy, and he's not even in the fucking final episode. Like, not a frame. We don't see him. And the only fucking thing I can think of is that he's literally going to be... That is set up for Vought Rising. They had to keep this guy alive to make Vought Rising make fucking sense. That's it. Absolutely fucking baffling decisions made in this fucking episode. And just one final thing I want to say about this episode is I actually don't like that Homelander was depowered. I think it would have been more satisfying if he'd have been killed at his strongest, because the problem is that all you did is you just took a bunch, like two guys that can't really like die because they're both indestructible, smashed them into each other a bunch of times, and had a plot device come out of nowhere and conveniently remove their powers so that one of them can die. Like, that's all you did. And I get it, but like, you're writing a superhero show, so why would you not just write it so that Homelander gets his ass beat by a bunch of supes and loses? Like, so many people had so much better theories for what could have happened in this episode, involving Soldier Boy like finally realizing his mistake and depowering and killing Homelander himself, or just killing him, just having a fight and they both die or something. I don't fucking know, but like, it was just such a weak fucking like conclusion to that character. That the problem is again, you have to stress that this character is the payoff we've been waiting for this whole fucking show, and this is what we get out of it. It's just so disappointing. It really is. I don't really know what else to say about it at this point, so I won't be watching Vought Rising because I just don't give a fuck about this show anymore, or the intellectual property. The two most interesting characters won't be in it, so what the fuck does anyone care about a prequel series starring a bunch of twats? Like, it is what it is. They didn't deliver with this show. This show will join the fucking legions of fucking Stranger Things and Game of Thrones as having underwhelming endings that sucked. And that'll be that, I suppose.